Made with a few simple and easy to find spices, veggies, and humble rice, jollof will quickly make its way into your rotation, if only you give it a chance. Jollof is a spicy and flavorful dish that is so tasty you can enjoy it both warm and cold on its own or with some protein. It is iconic in West African countries and is the centerpiece at celebrations, which makes jollof a party food. No wonder there is a ton of variations of jollof, let alone the endless debates about whose jollof is the best. For the first-hand expertise about what makes jollof jollof, I decided to call Ruki, my colleague who is originally from Nigeria and who loves making this dish for her family. Ruki, if you watch this, I'm sending my big thanks your way for sharing your recipe. It was super delicious and all of us loved it a lot. What happened next was well predicted. I started cooking jollof frequently, like twice a week. And now I can tell that although this dish requires patience and extra love, there is a practical way to cook jollof without sacrificing any of that rich flavor. Here's how. The best way to start off is making a pepper tomato sauce, which will lend both the flavor and bright red-orange hue to the rice. It's easy to make, and all it takes is blending the seeded red bell peppers, red onions, garlic cloves, fresh ginger, you can leave the skin on, with a can of good quality crushed tomatoes into pretty much a smoothie. Extra flavorful smoothie, I should say. I missed here another ingredient, and that's habanero peppers, which make the sauce extra hot. If you're a fan of super hot and spicy food, then add habanero. If you're on the mild or spiciness side, keep watching. After the sauce is ready, I set it aside and cut the remaining red onions into thin wedges, which will be sauteed in 2 or better 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil until slightly soft. Half of the cooked onions I love taking out so that later on I can add it to the cooked jollof for the gentle crunch and richer texture. Adding spices to the onions in the pot is our next step. It's going to be curry powder, dried thyme leaves, smoked paprika, to provide that smoky flavor which traditional jollof is famous for because it is cooked on the open flame. Then the bay leaves, and after stirring everything well and letting the spices bloom, we will add the tomato paste. Stir again and pour in the flavorful sauce. A couple more things to add, and that is dried chili peppers to make it mildly spicy, and a couple of chicken bouillon cubes. Now I leave the sauce on low to let it simmer and exchange the flavors. Now let's rinse the rice. Basmati or any other long grain rice will be a safe choice. What's important here is rinsing the rice thoroughly until the water is clear to wash off as much starch as possible, because this will prevent the rice from turning mushy. Back to the sauce and taste check. The seasonings are just perfect. Now we can add the rinsed rice, pour in the chicken stock, stir so that the rice is well covered, and after closing the lid, let it cook on low for about an hour or an hour and 15 minutes until the rice absorbs all the juices and flavors, cooks, and turns into jollof. I'll transfer it to the regular stove so that we could film the next episode while the rice cooks. Some cooks suggest baking jollof in the oven to make the rice crumbly, but I figured out that if you let it cook in the Dutch oven, on the stove top, on low, it will provide the same result. Once the rice is cooked, adding the reserved onions and fluffing up the rice is going to be the last step before serving. Look at these colors. Not only jollof is eye-catching, it tastes heavenly as well. This is now my favorite way to make rice, and I'm sure it's not going to change anytime soon. All ingredients and measurements I left in the description below. Thanks for being around. Next time we will be making a light dessert, so don't miss that out. Stay well, folks, and I'll see you in the next video.